Hello everyone on YouTube and welcome back to the 9th part tutorial of how to model a basketball court arena. Um, I want to make some points before I can begin with this part, so let me quickly do so. At the 8th part, after I uploaded that part, I added, I don't know, like day after, I added some pop-out messages or pop-out message, one message, I don't know. So that message, I wrote to you that if you can't populate all your scene with chairs, and it's starting to become very laggy, um, what I suggest you to do is to basically delete all those chairs. So I will do this, and I will show you what I mean. So I'm deleting all those extra chairs. I don't want them, okay? I want them, oops, I don't want them right now to be populating the scene, and therefore I will select most of them and keep, yeah, let's grab those three, delete those, and let's delete these parts, and this will left me only with one copy, and this one is okay. I will grab this and control select this to unselect these, and it will remain only with the chair. I'm gonna open the outliner. Now I'm looking for the highlighted line, which is group 91. So this chair belongs to group 91. Right now it's green and white because I selected both of them, but if I want to select them as a group, I can grab the group from here and they both will be highlighted in green. So this is the safe way to move this chair around. Right now what I want to do is I want to bring this chair over the grid. So I'm gonna bring it over here, and yeah, I don't want you to populate the scene right now. The last part is mainly was a demonstration on how to do so, and if you already done so, then that's okay, I guess. But the important thing here is that the only way to do so and make sure that the scene won't lag when you starting to populate more than 20 chairs is to bring back the scale of this tribune back to the grid scale. Okay, this will make things easier for you. In this scale, you're consuming less 3D space, and therefore you can work near to the work area, to the grid, and make everything on that scale, and you're just populating less 3D space, and it's really easy to navigate here. Now, I said group 91, so what I will do, I'm gonna um, middle mouse this, middle mouse click and drag this group all the way up, and I just want to put it here, okay? And I can rename it, double click on it and type in chair or something, okay? And I can grab now group 0, basically 0, and shift select this group that way and simply delete them because they are not containing anything. Those are remaining from the seats that I just deleted. Now I'm gonna grab the chair and I want to scale this down, and if you want to already fix the size for it and make sure that it's really where it should be, I mean like here on the stairs, that's fine with me. I ain't gonna do this right now. I'm gonna put it somewhere there, okay, or maybe over there. And I have some problems with my layers because I already deleted some of the layers, some of the features that were attached to these layers. So right now, if I will hide these chairs, there is nothing to hide, and if I will hide these chairs, this will be hidden. Okay, so I want to right click on this layer which contain nothing and delete this. Also, I want to check what that means, that this is belong to the pasted seat. So I will right click and choose remove selected object, and I will delete this layer as well. So now I will right click on chair 2 and add selected object and hide it. Okay, just for now we know that this is the chair, the group that inside this layer. Now the tribune also for some reason went outside from this layer. Okay, so if I hide this, you can see that the tribune is still there. I want to right click and choose add selected objects. And the court, basically we already patched it as part of the tribune, so even here we have nothing to hide, so I can delete this layer as well. So we left only with two layers. One is the seat and one is the tribune. Now for the tribune, I want to change the wireframe shader. I want to change it, double click on it and simply pick some other color. Okay, let's choose blue, click save. Now I want to create this fence, and I used like two different methods on to do so. I mean, it's not two different methods, they are almost the same, but one of them is simply very simple to to create. The other one is a little bit more tricky. Still yet, I think that there is a reason why I chose to redo this part, because um, I want to cap this fence as part of our model and not something separated from it. So it will be everything will be one unit. So what I want you to do right now is shift right click on the model, on the tribune, and choose insert edge loop. Now I want you to zoom into this sidewalk here, and I want you to add one edge loop here, and let's see, one edge loop here. And with that done, I may want to add one very close to this one and one that is very close to this one. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this edge, okay, here in between those, control right click, choose edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. Now I'm gonna right click, choose face, double click on this face, shift select this face, double click on this face, and I will have those two strips selected all the way. Okay, follow this tribune, and I'm gonna extrude this once. Now I may use pre-made settings, so no, that's okay, it's using one division here, so I can pull this up that way. So this is the the main body of our fence. Now you need to be very careful on how high this is. Okay, it can be very high, and some viewers here won't be able to watch the game as they should. So you want to be very careful on how much height you bring to this fence. So let's say that way it's okay. Okay, I'm not sure like 100% that this is good in proportions, but this is one thing to do, and we can be satisfied with this. Now I want to grab the edge in the middle here that I just created by the edge ring utilities, edge ring and split. I want to grab this middle edge, so I'm double click on it, and it will make sure it loop select everything. And I want you to go over modify, convert, and choose polygon edge to curve. So when you click on this, what it will do, it will like convert that edge all the way to become a curve, though the edge that we used is still there and it's not separated from our model. It stays the same as it was, and it's only giving us new curve here. So I'm gonna hide the tribune right now, and I wanna concentrate on this curve here. Let's hide the seat as well. So we have this curve here. Now, if you open the attribute editor here, you can see that this curve contains 104 spans. Okay, Spans, it's the same as for when we want to extrude something along this, it stands for divisions, okay? And spans also, that means that we have 104 control vertices um, on this curve, okay? So right now, I don't know if you want to count all of them, but you should have 100 and I think 5 basically. This is like minus the first point and the start point and the last point. I'm not sure. Maybe 106 even. Anyway, you need to look at this as you like have 100, 104. Okay. So I'm gonna press F8 to bring it back to object mode. That means we have 104. Now what we want to do, we want to create a polygon cylinder. Okay, we're gonna create a polygon cylinder. It will be dropped down in there, and I'm gonna zoom on it. Press F, and from the attribute editor, click on it, expand the attribute editor, and change to the third tab here. Now, from the subdivision axis, I want you to change this into 6. Okay, and press enter. And for the subdivision caps, I want you to change this into 0 and hit the enter. Now, I want you to right click on it, choose face, and delete those faces and the one down here. Press delete to delete it, and press F8 to bring it back to object mode. You should tap once or twice on the F8. Now, I'm going to switch to move tool, and you can see that our our pivot here is down here, and we want it to be on the center of this. So we're going to go over modify, center pivot, that way. And now with that done, I want to right click, while it's selected, I want to right click on this curve and choose control vertices. Now I'm looking for something on top of our curve. Now I already spot it right now, so if I get zoom over here, you can see we have some kind of a, you can see that most of the points on this curve are square that are filled. It's like filled square or dots, okay? But here we have a U letter, okay? And wherever you have a U, in one of those sides you will meet another empty square, okay? Not square like this one, but empty square. So we need to find out where this empty square is. So I'm gonna grab only one. I'm not marking selecting, I'm simply clicking on it, and I'm gonna drag this to the left, to the right, and see if there is another hidden square, as I said, the empty square. I will undo whatever I did because I did move this, so I can see it's not there. So if it's not on this side, it must be the opposite side. So we need to go over here and check those dots. Okay, I'm gonna click on this one and move it over here. So now you can see that I revealed that empty square. Okay, so you see what the difference between empty square and square. This is the empty one, this is the filled square, but the difference between empty square and filled square. And we have the U. So I'm gonna bring this back to where it was. I don't want to change where the position of this. Just want to make sure that I know where is it. So now that I know where is the U, where is the square, for you, you will have to simply try and look for it on this entire curve. I know it can be a little bit frustrating, but please do so. So now we're gonna take our shape here, right click, choose control vertices, and because we know that this is the U here, so the U basically represent the start point, while the square, this empty square, is representing the end of this curve. Okay, I want to bring this shape here to this U, so I'm gonna hold down the V key. Okay, I will do this again. First, I'm gonna grab the shape, right click on the curve, control vertices. So this is selected on object mode, and this is selected on modifying mode. So I'm gonna hold down the V key and look at here. It will change to circle, so I'm still holding it, and with my middle mouse button I'm clicking here on this circle and pointing to this U. Now it will somewhat automatically understand what you want to do. I mean, you still need to a little bit point to this point, and it will snap this cylindrical shape. I mean, this part of the cylindrical that we created into this U letter. Okay, so you can see it's there. Now, if you recall, for each face we have a normal direction, and we need to obtain what is the normal direction for this. Now, I'm gonna say something, and I really feel like I should say this, but first let me light my cigarette. Okay, so the normal direction by default, when I used it, long time ago, there was this rule: when you want to extrude something, follow a curve, you need to make sure that the the normal is pointing to the end point. Okay, so if the U is representing the first, the beginning of the curve, and the empty square representing the end of this curve, you need to make sure that the normal facing the end, okay, and not follow the curve direction. Okay, so right now we're gonna do this as the opposite. We're gonna make sure that the normal is facing the path, okay, and not the end point. So what I want you to do is click on this cylindrical shape, or whatever it's called, and make sure you on selection tool. So this will hide this gizmo, this handle of our move tool, and you want to go over display, NURBS, and normal shaded mode. And now you can see this normal here. Okay, so we need this normal to face this direction, to the right. Okay, I'm gonna switch to rotation tool and hold down the J and rotate it that way, so it snaps to this default angle, like so. And now I need to be very careful and choose what will be the size of this. Now, right now, I'm not concerned about this. I'm only concerned that I have one of those edges here on this shape facing the ground. Okay, so basically I want it to be like so. I will undo that and I will use the J key so I can snap this, so it will be exactly how it should be. Okay, so rotate it that way, and here I'm gonna switch to move tool. I'm gonna select my curve. Remember, my curve has 104. Okay, so we need to remember 104. I'm gonna select this, and what I will do now is go over edit mesh, choose extrude. Okay, one more thing. In Maya 2015, there is extrude for vertex, there is extrude for edge, and there is extrude for face. You need to make sure you know what you're doing, which one you use. On earlier experimental test I made, I accidentally chose one of those because it was in the edit mesh menu, and I didn't notice that now I have 3 new extrude, and each one is belong to the different form of, I don't know, edge, vertices, or faces. So I'm dealing with faces right now, and I need to make sure that I'm using the extrude of the faces. So later on, I won't accidentally choose the extrude of edge, and I will use those settings as for my extrusion or something else. So if you, sometimes when you, it's not sometimes, basically when you set some values in your extrude options, they should remain the same as long that you didn't change them. So you can continue work with the same settings that you already apply to this option. But what happened with me is that I tried to use the extrude of the vertex or the edge, and I didn't understand why my setting wasn't set permanent. Okay, so again, extrude, we're gonna click on this option here, and this is where these spans are coming into play. We need to set the divisions here to 104. Now, for Maya, basically from this option box, you have a limitation. You can only enter 100, okay? 100 is the limit for the division, and we need 104. So I'm gonna enter 100, okay? I don't care about this right now. I'm gonna enter 100 and click apply. I want to make sure that my form, I'm going to close this area here, where is the start, that everything is correct. I mean, there is no twisting or something that looks a little bit strange here. So it follows the path, and you can see that basically we have edges for each edge that we add on this tribune. Okay, I'm going to bring in the tribune for a second so you can see it. All right, so that way, so you can see we have this edge here for this edge, and we have those here for those here, and it's a little bit strange. It looks very bad here. Now the reason also for this that I'm doing this is to show you that you first also need to make sure that you know what is the size that you are going to apply to this. So I'm going to undo that, and the first thing I'm going to do is going to bring in the tribune. I'm gonna grab those two at the same time, okay, this curve and this polygon cylinder, and I want to bring them up like so. Okay, not that much. We are gonna rely on the curve itself. I want the curve to be that way, and I want this cylinder to, okay, I'm gonna scale it down. So I'm scale it with uniformly with this, and I want to make sure that the thickness of this, you know, here, this area, the lower part that I was facing the ground, is the same thickness as our this area here, this fence here. Okay, so I'm making sure it's somewhat like so, and when I'm satisfied with that, I know that it's still on this curve. Okay, nothing has changed. The position is still in the middle of the curve, that way. So right now I'm gonna switch to move tool while both selected, and I'm gonna, oh yeah, I will have to really be careful. Bring it up a little bit and take a look at what's going on here. So it looks like it's a little bit floating, and I may need to change a little bit the camera settings. Yeah, I need to somewhat attach it a little bit more. That way. It's hard to work like that, but you can change the pivot. I mean, you can hold down the D while it's selected, see, and bring the pivot over here, and don't move it from, I mean, like, don't do any strange moves. Just bring it somewhere close to where you can see both of them, the pivot and this shape. Okay, you can see it still doesn't look good, so I will hold down the D and bring my pivot over here. Oops, need to hold down the D key, change the pivot, and yeah, that's fine. So now I can see both of them, and I can see how it goes. So now it's fine, right? That's all good. Now what I want you to do is press F8, bring it back to object mode, right click, choose face on this fence. I'm gonna grab this face, shift select, double click on this face, and I don't know why it's, I want to grab all those faces, the upper faces, make sure it's loop selected, and delete this. Okay, so I will have empty hole here. And now I'm a little bit confused right now. Okay, I know what's going on. I'm gonna press F8 first before I do this. and I'm gonna make sure it's object mode, edit, delete by type, history. I need to disconnect the tribune from my curve, okay? Because I created this curve using the tribune geometry. So now where it's no longer needed, I need to delete the transform. If I will undo that, undo the delete history, you can see that there is this, the curve is also has a second color, which is some kind of a pink purple, I don't know. So basically this is mean that we have some transform node here. Maybe it's hidden, but anyway, it's below it. It's just something that keeps them as related. And we need to grab the tribune, add it, delete by type, history, and now we can hopefully do this. Let's see, add it, delete by type. Right click, choose face, double click. It's still pinky, but whatever. And delete. I don't know, that's weird. Keeps reacting to this. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm gonna control D and duplicate this curve, and I'm gonna delete this curve. Great. So now I have duplication from this curve, and they are not related anymore. Hopefully. Yeah, right now it's okay. I can safely delete this, and the curve will maintain his structure. So, as I said, we're gonna do this right now again. So I'm grabbing this, shift selecting the curve, gonna go over edit mesh, extrude, click here. No, this is not the right extrude, we need the face extrude. And because we already set it to 100, I'm gonna click and it will preform. So now we only have this open gap here. Now I don't want you to worry about this right now. What I do want you to worry about is your color of your pipe. If the color of your pipe is black, that means that you're extruded backwards. So the normal basically faced to the left side to the end point. When basically what I ask you to make sure that the normal is facing the right side. If this is the case, the only thing that you will need to do is to make sure you don't have any distortions here, and also go over normals and click reverse to make sure that the normals are facing the camera. Okay, when this done, basically we can continue. So right now this is the same. You can see it's basically sit on top of our fence here, and all I want to do right now is to make sure that I'm filling this open gap here. Okay, so I'm connecting those two, and also I want to make sure that this is patched to this. Okay, so there is one more thing that I want to do. I forgot, and before we will be able to continue, remember I told you that we can only use 100 spans while we are extruding. So therefore, when you extruded it, you only extrude it 100 times. You need to extrude it 104. So you want to grab this geometry that you just created, this pipe. And you want to go over channel box, okay? This icon here, make sure you expand it and it says channel box. And you want to go over the poly extrude face 1. Okay, this is the history. So you click on it, you scroll down and look for the 100 division. Here you can put any amount of divisions you like. Okay, so if on the extrude you had limitation of 100, here you can simply type in 104, hit the enter, and it will complete itself. And this is where our faces are basically turned the opposite direction, and they're all becoming black. So yeah, so what you want to do here, you want to right click, choose face, delete those faces here. Okay, simply grab them and delete them. Press F8, bring it back to object mode, and go over normals and reverse. That's simple. Now you can see that by adding this 104, basically we have right now almost precise edges in front each of our edges here. Okay, so we have two here, one here in the middle, we're missing one here and the one that completes. But if you take a look on what's going on here, you have one exactly where it is. You have two here for those two, one here for this one, and two, and so on. That's following all the path. So we only need to complete this thing here. And what I will do is right click, choose edge. I'm gonna double click on this edge. So I'm selecting it that way. Press F to focus on it. And I'm gonna extrude it. So click extrude. Now if I will extrude this, it will use the 100 settings. So I need to make sure that I'm not doing so. Also, I'm extruding edge, so I can use the edge extrusion. Okay, edit mesh, look for the edge title, extrude, click on this little box here, make sure it's division 1, click apply, and simply extrude it so it will meet the second line here. Okay, we are making sure that we are completing this, and then click apply again and extrude it over here. Now we will patch this. Okay, I'm gonna close this thing and right click, choose vertices. I'm gonna grab those vertices. I'm gonna go over mesh, edit mesh, merge component, option box. Now I'm using 0.0020. I'm gonna click apply and see if this is patching. No, it's not. So you can simply add something like 40, like 20, click apply. If it doesn't work, change the scale tool, make sure you really bring them near each other and click apply. Okay, this will make sure that they are patched. So let's see if they are patched. No, they are not. I'm gonna zoom in to see what's going on here. And I'm gonna click merge. Let's type in 100. Click apply, close. Let's grab one of them. Yeah, this is patched. Okay, so right now it's completed. I can turn off the normals shaded mode because I don't need to see them. So I'm gonna go over display, NURBS, normal shaded mode, and that's fine. Now I don't know. I can suggest you two things. Keep it as it is. I mean, if it's pretty much attached to this fence, that's all good. If it's not, and you do want to patch this, you can patch this. It will be a little bit more odd work, but you will patch this. The next thing is also to tell you that before you can patch this, you basically will need to make sure that everything here is set correctly. So I will explain this. You see this edge here in the middle? It's a little bit twisted. See, it has different angle from this line here. And therefore, you will need to make sure that you are tweaking everything and make sure that this is pointing somewhat as it should, like so. Okay? And if you have edges that are not really facing that edges of our tribune, you will also need to move them, relocate them. I don't know. Just move them a little bit. Make sure that it's really where it should be. Okay? Those can be twisted that way. So there's minor things that you need to make sure that you do before you going into this patch process, because this can be very problematic later on. Just give you some weird looking things there. So that way, that's good. This one. It's not perfect, but trying to do something that will, you know, in that way we will avoid problems later on. So I'm gonna grab this. Maybe this one should be a little bit angled that way. I don't care about this one that much. I mean, I do, but not that much. Let's face this one. Take a look. Sometimes it's some kind of a little bit twist. Sometimes it's really moving them. But if you're moving, be very careful and pay attention to where you move it, so you won't move it basically something like so. Okay. And yeah. Um, so let's say that everything here is somewhat okay. I mean, I can't really approve it, but try to do your best here. Yeah. This one. Okay. And that one. Well, this is ants work. um, okay, let's say that's good. Maybe this one a little bit. Oh, this one is really weird. So that way. That way. That way. Okay. So when we've done with this, what I want you to do is, first of all, go over modify, center the pivot for it back to where it was. I want you to copy this one. Now the reason I want you to copy this one is so you will be able later on use it as a different kind of rail or fence. Okay. Uh, so basically the one that we are building right now, I'm gonna move it up there so it won't interfere. The one that we are building right now is this one, okay? It's like a wall here, okay? And it has this rail here. Now the other one, if you want to make another one down here, so you basically want it to stand on poles and not being like a wall here. So we will keep one copy for this that way, okay? And it will look like a rail, and this one we will be able to patch this. Now I'm gonna hide the tribune, and I want to take a look on this shape from beneath, like that way, okay? Now remember that we faced one edge of this cylindrical shape that way, and this is really what we meant, what it was meant for. First of all, to let us know, indicate where we are with this shape, and then that we can simply grab this, double click on this, and if it loop selected, that means that also your entire shape is complete, so we patched it correctly. So we can delete this thing, okay? And if we press F8, bring it back to object mode, we can simply bring back the tribune, go over side view, expand it, and zoom in. Now, here, I'm gonna shift select the tribune, okay? And I'm gonna go over mesh combine, okay? So you can keep it combined, but if you're really into patch this thing, so yeah, it's gonna be a little bit tricky. I do suggest that you will know what you're doing, and I don't know, it's like it can be a very messy thing to do. So either you use merge vertex tool or something, and or maybe you will keep it that way. So I think that for now this is quite good. We don't want to mess with this too much. I think this is, as long that it's combined, you can always scale this up and down and nothing will change here, okay? Though we still have this curve there that we don't need. So I'm gonna delete it. Let's hide this tribune. Okay, I will hide it again to this layer and hide it. And let's delete this. I will bring back the tribune just to make sure that nothing wrong. So you see what happened? Our cylindrical shape has uh, basically lost its structure. It was supposed to be extruded along this path, but when you took off this path, basically what you've done is creating this weird thing. So what we will do is undo that and make sure that we go over edit, delete by type, history, and hide this. Now let's delete it. Now let's bring this. So you see, now it's okay. Anyway, there is a lot of little things that can, make changes that we need to talk about them. We need to address them. I need to demonstrate on what's going on and things that can appear, at least for in your case. So I think that this is it for this part of the tutorial. It's been a very long part tutorial, though I did try to maintain the time in this part, but anyway, as long that we are getting progress here. So I hope you satisfied with this result and it looks good for you. One more suggestion that I want to make now is you can create frames from those. I mean, like if you want to use those parts here as like, I mean, those faces, these and these, not those, but only the big ones as, I don't know, advertisement billboards or something. So you can bevel them in, like extruding them in. But we will touch this area maybe at the next part. I don't want to fulfill this, part with too much things that are needed. So thank you again for watching, and we'll meet you again at the next part. Bye. Oh, by the way, don't forget to save this. Yeah, save scene as. I have 10 and 11. I need to make sure that this is, yeah, 12. And remember this, save as. Okay, again, bye.